It's engine build night in the shop and we are excited.
Very excited. This is an L96. It's got about 60,000 miles on it. We sourced this from Pro Touring, Texas.
We're going to build these heads with all the comp cams components, the springs, the retainers, the trunnion kit, the push rods, and the lifters.
Pretty well stocked now. It's got around 60,000 miles on it. It's got variable valve timing. This is a 2013 model engine. So we're actually going to remove all that. We're going to put the normal timing cover on it, put a comp cam in it.
We did a custom grind cam on this thing because we like choppy cams. We didn't want to go with an average blower cam. So we talked to our friends at Comp Cams and they did a custom grind for us. It's going to be a 627 lift, so it's going to have some chop. So we expect some good power from this cam. It's going to be good top end and blower's going to keep up with the bottom end, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with the boost on it, we're going to get some good low end power, but the numbers are big enough on that cam that we're going to build some power up high as well. That's real exciting. So on this engine, we're going to pull the heads off and put the LS9 gaskets on it. They were built for boost. Seems like a good choice to me. Let's take this thing apart.
Let's do it. James is back here doing wiring on the Impala. He's a badass. He's making stuff happen. We're going to tear into this motor.
I'm going to take off the compressor. You pull off the front cover. Yep. Can I get a 15 millimeter? Yeah, that'd be good. What's up, dog?
Rotate this engine around and pull the pan because we have to pull the oil pump to get the timing chain off. Now that Emily has this engine torn apart, I'm going to go ahead and tape it off. I'm going to put some plastic over the crank and over the front and wash this thing down really good because I want to put some nice paint on it. I want this thing to look like it's actually going to run. Right now it's stock and it just kind of looks crummy, honestly. So, let's get to it. Happy Saturday at Flying Sparks Garage.
Here we are. We have a tremendous amount of work to do, so you're going to see different projects. Emily's going to be working on this. I'll be over there sanding the front clip and let her show you around this stuff a little bit.
So I'm going to be rebuilding the heads. We're going to be doing some comp springs, of course the spring retainers, and reinstalling them after I do my lifters and push rods. And then Aaron is going to pull this front clip off. Got the firewall smoothed out to perfection. We're going to paint it, and he's going to tape off the engine bay portion of the front clip, and get that all pretty. So that's what's going to happen. Time for lifters. We did what Comp suggests to do. We soaked the lifters in mineral spirits to remove all of the packing oil, and then we soaked them overnight in motor oil to be sure they were lubricated internally. And we're using the stock lifter trays that hold the lifter stationary inside so that the roller lifter is sure to sit perfectly on the cam. Stormy day at Flying Sparks Garage, but progress is still happening. But I'm barefooted right now. So you know it's raining, and you know Texas has gotten a lot of hail this year. And earlier, we were out here in the shop, and all of a sudden we heard hail hitting the roof, and Roxy was parked outside. So I made a mad dash for my car, and I went and pulled her under the carport of the sweet lady that lives across the street named Stella, because we don't have covered parking in front of our house. So my shoes got soaking wet, and I took them off. So we used ARP cam bolts for our cam gear, and we made sure that our #1 piston was at top dead center, and we marked our cam gear and our crank gear to make sure that everything was aligned and that we had the cam degreed as well as possible. I think it's time to put an oil pump on. So Melling suggests that you pour motor oil through the oil pump and move the gears around inside so that it's sure to be lubricated really well. So now we're going to turn the engine over 360 degrees to set the gears on the crank. We bought the trunnion kit from Comp Cams, and it came with lots of awesome components, including this super cool tool that Powerhouse Tools and Comp Cams engineers created to press out the stock OEM trunnions in the rocker arms to be able to replace it with the upgraded trunnions. It comes with a magnet on the back. You can use it with a vise or an awesome press, but you can also use it with a C-clamp, which is super cool. It makes it really available for everyone to be able to use. So I put it in my vise like this. It comes with this piece, and we're gonna start with pressing out the OEM trunnions out of our rocker arms. It is time to finish the valve train on this baby. Got my rockers ready, got my push rods. I poured some motor oil in my little baggie so they're nice and lubed. And get to work. So when you're buying your camshaft, and if it's a custom grind situation, you can always call the guys at Comp. They've got awesome technicians that help you do all the math to figure out what size push rods you need. Rockers went on smooth, and now we're moving on to torquing these. They go down to 22 foot-pounds, and once we get them tightened, then I'm going to slap the old valve covers on and get ready to stab this thing back in the car.
So we use this full system that Fast offers. It's got the hose from the back of the tank, it's got the fuel pump that goes in the tank, and everything you need to hook it up.
Can I help?
You be over at the cherry picker.
Okay. Ready to hook it up.
All right, come on up with it. Keep it coming. You're getting it.
This would be so cool. I've been picking letter out.
You're gonna do it.
I'm ready.
Okay, bring it on up. Nice. Okay, we've got a little bit of pickup on it. Let's take our bolts out. Take this one out, and then I'll get a ratchet for the other one.
Mhm.
It goes this way. Yep, keep going. I think it will be finger loose soon.
It's finger loose.
Yep. You bring it out this way.
Thanks.
Welcome. Thank you.
You heard that DeWalt impact over there on the table.
Hold it, and then put your socket on there.
Thank it.
Oh, it's coming.
Yep.
Keep going.
help?
Yes.
Okay.
Do it together.
Okay. Going up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, baby.
Oh yeah, baby.
Works for me.
Oh
stop.
my
Right
gosh, it's in.
My new favorite tool.
This means action's getting ready to take place. Did you get overspray on her, babe?
Might have. This is the next build. We have one of these in storage over at one of our hangars, and we are going to build it right here. In
That's
this
what
shop.
Aaron was driving when we met.
Yep, still own it.
Yep. We had our first kiss in that Z car. It was raining. It was like really adorable.
Kind of sloppy because it was both of our first kiss.
Yeah. It was kind of bad, but it was
We
sweet.
survived it.
It was sweet. We've gotten better since.
Yeah.
Luckily. Our directions for the supercharger, the torque specs are in Newton meters, and I have yet to memorize how to convert that into inch pounds, so I pulled up the converter on my phone and I'm working it out. So, 10 Newton meters is 88 foot-pounds, 88 and a half foot-pounds. I'm gonna write that down. Okay, first step is to install that fuel charging assembly. Let's get it. We're in. There I love how there's plenty of space here for our stock valley cover bolts. That was almost a traumatic experience whenever I installed my intake on my GTO. I had the tall valley cover style bolts, and I just set it on there, and I posted an episode on YouTube, and someone saw that I used the wrong valley cover bolts, and they said, in not such a nice way, that I was gonna trash my intake, and they were right. So luckily I read the comments and looked back in my box of parts for my intake, and they had low profile button head bolts. And so I was thanking my lucky stars that I didn't actually tighten my intake down. Alright, let's set the sucker on. Well, blower. Not exactly a sucker, it's a blower. Set right down on those channels.
Oh my gosh, the supercharger's on.
It is! Isn't that awesome? Come sit on the toolbox. Come help me. Okay, I gotta find tools. Hold that. Try this one.
Yep, it fits.
Sweet!
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, okay, you can put it on my extension. Texas Muscle Cars. Had the car on the dyno all morning, and Steven has been checking our tune out, making sure idle, wide open throttle, and cruise, everything is good. All of our air to fuel ratios are where they're supposed to be. Everything's looking good. We're gonna do a final dyno pull. We've got about 6 pounds of boost right now. We're running it really mild. Ann and Simon do not want to go extreme with this car, so we're gonna have an easy tune. Thinking maybe once we get back from the tour, we'll put a different pulley on it and see what kind of power we can pull. Right now, we're happy with whatever she's putting down. It's gonna be plenty. She's a tire roaster. We know this. It's gonna be awesome.